Hi guys, it's Talk to Be Baby. It's with great pleasure that I welcome you to this beautiful episode of Talk to Be. Wow, just in case you haven't seen it before, you must have missed one or two things. It's not too late for you to go back to all the episodes that you have missed. On Talk to Be, we discuss life issues, life experiences, the battles. We discuss our victories and the state at which we are at the moment. If it calls for us to solicit for help for people, we do that on Talk Today. On this edition, I have an interesting guest with an interesting story. I'm sure you will learn one or two things before you leave today. So sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. Guys, please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel, Biola Adebayo ENT, and as well like, comment, and share with your loved ones. You don't want them to miss this, do you? Okay, if not for them, for me, and I'm sure you love your people as well. So please share. Let's go for a break. When I return, I'm going to bring in my guest. It's amazing. Don't go away.
Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Talk to be. Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Yeah, talk to be.
Come on.
Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Yeah.
Talk to be.
Talk to be, share your experience. Talk to be, share your experience.
Hi, guys. Thank you for staying tuned on the show. The show is Talk to Be, in case you're just joining us. And of course, I have my guest in the studio with me today, right? So, my guest has an interesting story. I heard it and I was like, how? So, who, what, like interesting. When I say interesting, so I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag from my mouth. I will let her talk for herself. So let's meet this beautiful, I mean, very beautiful, wonderful, amazing woman in the studio with me. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So pleased to have you here today. All right, so let's meet you. Who are you? What's your name? What do you do? Tell us everything we'd like to know about you.
Okay. My name is Christiana.
Okay.
Let me say my full name.
Okay.
Christiana Anu Bamiteko by marriage.
Okay.
Why I be Christiana Anu Ajiboye before I got married.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll be 40 in a few months.
Wow.
And-
Big kid.
And well, I'm an accountant by profession.
Okay.
I am a nursing assistant by profession as well.
Wow. Only you. Hey. Opo.
And
It's
an
plenty.
actress in the making.
In the making. Hey. It's plenty.
Thank you. And I'm a mother of two.
Okay.
I have two wonderful kids,
Wow.
which one is already 18 years.
18.
Yeah. And I have a 2 years old boy.
Wait.
Hmm.
Wait. That's somehow. That's somehow.
Hmm. Yes.
18 to 2.
Yes.
How?
Well, a youthful exuberance, or what can I even just call that? While I was growing up, I was 22 years old then.
Okay.
Normal. On the level stuff, and it happens. Although it's my story is a bit complicating. Let me use that word, because it's not as if it's a mistake.
Okay.
Going by the story, for me, I would say it's not a mistake, and I
Okay,
started
what's the
this
story?
Okay, I started this journey or the life with someone I loved then.
At
As
22.
teenager. Yeah.
Okay, teenager before
of
then.
course, of course.
Okay.
That's immediately after your SSC,
Secondary
that
school.
kind of life and all of that. So At a
That
point,
hide and seek club thing.
exactly. At a point, he got admission to Federal Poly Laro, and it was time for him to go. And when he left, I promised that I will wait, don't worry. Along the line, I also got admission to University of Ibadan.
Okay.
So this time, then, this was 2004. There was no phone calls
like
like
now, there was
now.
phone already, but it wasn't like
nothing.
this.
It's not rampant. It's only maybe rich kids that have
That-
access to it like that. Because I remember I would have to check. I can't remember miles to make a call. And when you call, you have to tell the phone booth, please, when you see this person, tell the person that I will call by 5 p.m. in the evening. You know that kind of life? Yes, exactly.
God,
So
time flies.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
So it's time for me to now go to the university, and I thought, I can't just go like that without telling him, because the decision was I will wait. But now it is time to leave where
Wait,
he.
you will wait where? Wait in your mother's house.
No. Wait in the town where he left me. Like I said, it's not going to be a.
Where were you?
I wasn't with my parents, of course.
Where?
In Ogun State there.
Ogun State.
Yeah.
So
he was there. So he left for Ilaro. I was in Ifo precisely.
Okay.
And I was teaching then. I just finished my work, and I was teaching in these nursery schools. So I told him, don't worry, go.
Go to school.
Yeah, I will be here.
Wait
for you.
You will not go to your own.
That I want to get married. That was the only thing you can think
I
of
love
then. You
I'm
understand?
loving it.
So when it was time for me to go to school, I felt, come on, the reality dawned on me that I'm going very far. Or just State for that matter, or even Ijebu-Ode. Then, this, the last University of Ibadan Education Department was at Taisholari College of Education. Then. So,
yes.
And I was like, it's far. So I will need to go and tell him. So I took my box, took everything, and on my way to school, I branched at Ilaro.
You're already going to school?
Of course.
Okay.
I already left home
okay.
thinking I'm going to
Big
school.
girl.
Well, of course. So I went to him. In fairness, just to tell him, I got there and I told him that, look, I have my acceptance fee already. This is my bag, and I'm going to school. And he was like,
wait, I'm sorry I had to cut
okay.
You did that because you promised him he was going to meet
me where he left me.
Wow.
So I felt if I would be leaving that place, I would have to inform him. And the only way I can do that was to just go there. Exactly.
Wow.
So I left. So I left. I got there, and the story changed. The usual of, you will never come back and marry me. School life, especially if you're going to university, I'm in polytechnic. How will you think you'll come back and you'll come back and marry somebody, an ONDO? So I asked him, what do you want? And he said, okay, since you want to go to school, just give me your virginity and let me hold on to it. That will give me an assurance that you will come back.
You say? Okay.
Actually, I don't really understand what that means as at then.
Oh wow.
I came from a background where I don't know anything. Let me use that word. Deeper life by
get
inside.
Jesus.
Those kind of things. So I don't have an idea what he was talking about. But this guy is already out there. I think he understands what he was saying. So I said, is that what he wants? Oh, it's not a problem. I will when I come back. And he was like, okay.
You collect his back?
And he was like, okay, are you sure? I said, yes, why not? And he said, okay, wait, I'm coming. Firstly, let me keep this money with me. This money you're holding. Then it was 18,000. 18,000 at that time. You understand?
A lot of money.
So I said, okay. He took the 18,000 naira from me and he said, wait for me, I am coming. This was around past 12 noon.
Okay.
So he just dashed out. Like, I thought he just wanted to buy something. I don't understand what he was saying. And I waited till 6 p.m. This guy never came back.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I have to understand this story, and I'm sure that my viewers will also want to understand it.
Yeah.
You mean how old were you then?
That's 21.
You were about 21.
21 years. Yeah.
So at 21, you didn't know what virginity means, what it meant by
Right.
gave me your
Your
virginity.
I thought it was a gift he was asking. That just go and buy it and just give me. Like, okay, let me say this quickly.
When what's this guy's name said, wahala, wahala.
Okay, let me say this quickly. You know, when we were growing up, my parents always took us home to our hometown every year for these December festives and all of that. So I remember that when it is time for us to pass like that, you know, those guys you were able to relate with during Christmas, so they will give you maybe key holder. I remember a guy gave me KZ. You know this you don't eat my car. This Tony Tetula. So he gave it to me and said, keep this. Each time you listen to it, you will remember me. So that was what I like. Hold on to it. So each time I'm at home, I play this case and I was like, Bumi, I remember this guy. That was what I thought he was talking about. I so as at 5 p.m., so the reality keep coming that what is going on? Where's this guy? I don't know what is happening. I need to get to school at home. You know, the fear is already in us that, in fact, my mom is actually looking at me. It's as if their eyes is following. So I was already afraid, like, what do I tell them at home if they just maybe passed the window now and they saw me sitting in somebody's house, you know? So I was afraid. To cut the whole story short, came back and this guy is already very drunk. I don't know. I was just like, where have you been? And that was all I heard. I just heard the slap, the beating, tore my clothes, and I was screaming, what did I do? What happened? The only thing I could do was lay my hands on my slippers and I ran. He ran after me to the streets, caught me, dragged me from the streets back into the house. And it was already getting late. It was already dark, a bit dark. It was intentional. Like it was a planned, how should I say it now, program or project. From him, of course. I think he was not able to face it. He doesn't know how to confront me because he knew where I was coming from. We came from, as at that time, let me say, we were born again. You can't even say that to me straight. I can give you slap. I will just walk out, of course. So I thought I'm just thinking about it that he doesn't know how to go about it.
Was it from same like background?
Of course.
Oh, it was
Same
shit.
of course. We grew up together. Of
Oh,
course. So he knows me very well. Of course.
the picture is
Yeah.
very clear.
So, and he raped me. You know, I don't understand. This whole scenario, I don't really understand it. It doesn't last, I'm not even sure it's up to 5 minutes thereabouts.
Like
He forced himself on me. And now, you know, it was later I understand that it was because he's already drunk. He was very, very strong. That I could not even push him. I can't even do anything. Firstly, he has beaten me, that all my eyes are already swollen. He dragged me from the street. I was having bruises. His friends are outside. That was another. In fact, recently I met one of the friends. Just recently, a few weeks ago. One of that knew, yeah, of course. And I really don't understand until later years. I understand that it was all planned out. I think immediately I got there that day, he went outside and he made his plan very well. So 5 minutes into it, I just looked at him and he slept off. You understand?
I don't. I don't honestly. I'm trying to take my breath.
Okay.
What happened was he entered you
Of course.
from outside, from the street inside you.
Mm-hmm.
Then he forced himself on you.
Of course.
Okay. Please go ahead.
And maybe when he was tired, the next time I just saw that he was already sleeping beside me.
Like
While I was crying seriously. Yeah. So I was just looking at the time, waiting for the day to break because it was already past 10. All of these things was already past 10 p.m. in the night. I couldn't go. So I could not close my eyes. I love this guy. Like, I shouldn't be saying this now, but that's the truth. And in all of that, I'm not even seeing him as a bad person. I was just like, you should have just explained what you want. I don't understand it because I don't understand. So at 5 a.m. in the morning, I ran out. My money was with him. I couldn't even take my bags that I was taking to school. I just took my handbag. I took one of the other slippers because I can't find the other one. My clothes is store, and I traveled like that. While I was in the car, everybody was just looking at me. It was as if I am a mad. I just want to get out of that place. I just need to go to school. That is where I told them at home I am going. It's already another day. What if my parents is already in my school? You know the thought. So that was what was on my mind. I'm telling you. So I went to school like that with just one slippers. And I got to the gates, the school entrance gate, and I was just passing. A brother just passed beside me. And you know the way he was looking at me? The way he looked at me like, and immediately he passed, I turned back just to look at him so that, you don't understand. But immediately I turned my eyes, he also turned his eyes. And he said, hello, excuse me. And that was it. He said, who are you? Where are you going? I know you must be one of the underlevel students. What happened to you? So he took me to his office. I never knew he's the CU, that's President Union president. So he took me to his office, and I told him everything that happened. I told him that yesterday I was still born again, but today I am no longer born again. That this is what happened.
Connected your lifetime from Christ.
But I don't still understand what has happened to me. I don't know. So he took me to one of the sisters, like school things. They took me in, helped me, give me clothes and all of that. And 4 weeks later, I was already pregnant. In fact, I never knew. I went on the football pitch in school. I'm a sports right from I play for my school. So I'm a football. So it's one of those days on the field we were training, and somebody just a very small, somebody just hit me, and I just fell. So they took me to the school clinic, and the matron, I can't forget, she just wrote P, capital letter, T in capital letter, and she put plus on top, and she gave me the paper. I was just like P, T, and plus. I don't even know what's plus. I was just like, what is this? But because my other teams are there, so I don't want them to know what happened. So I just took the paper, I put it in my bag, and I went to my hostel. So I got to the hostel, I took dictionary. So I said, P, let me search what P stands for. That was how I got to know that. P is pregnancy, T, test, and plus is positive. So I was just like, pregnancy. So I went to my next neighbor and I was like, when something is PT and positive, please, what does it mean? And she said, that means pregnant. That means you're pregnant. I was like, how can I be pregnant? I'm not pregnant, it's not possible. And she said, okay, you know what? I will help you. So the following day she said, just give me a little urine and let's test. Lo and behold. She said, you are pregnant. And when I heard that news, it was as if the whole world was crumbled. Number one, my dad is a pastor, like a deeper like pastor. And I know what that means. That was the first thought that came to my mind. Secondly, even if they ask me how it happens, I can't place it. I was now thinking, now I understand when, our parents are supposed to fear that when a man just holds your hand, you're pregnant. So it's not like, so this is what it means. Ever since I've been going out with this guy that we're talking, we never came close. Maybe church, that church. I was the assistant youth president in my church. Most times I interpret for my pastor. I'll be on the pulpit and I'll be looking at him. That's the last you can do. We've never been close. It was as if the whole board just crumbled right in my face. What do? I just said to myself, this is just the end. I just need to end it right now. I took my WAEC results Then I already had my NC, that's degree 2. I already had that before I went to my university. I took everything, original certificate. I gave it to this person that helped me with the test. Then I told, look at me, until you see my face again, these things that I'm giving you will perish with you. Until now that I'm talking, he's still with this person. I have never seen him again. I gave him all my original certificates. Then I left. I took my bag very early in the morning. I didn't tell anyone. Packed my clothes. Then I left. Just on my way. I don't know. I just want to go and die. And because I know the shame that is ahead of me. I know what it means. So I took my bag around 5 a.m. in the morning. And it was just like, if I just see maybe any bridge, water, I will just jump into it. Of course, that's the only thing that I can do that will just save me this shame that is coming, because I know it. I know what it's going to be. So I took my bag and I was on my way. 5 a.m. Just right on the road. I was just walking. I don't know when I was going. I just heard somebody called my name. And when I looked back, it was this same brother that saw me at the gate that same day. So when I saw him, I said, Shono, you see me? Where? And he said he was in a vigil and he heard somebody say to him that stand up, go. That he doesn't even know where he was going. So he just met me on the run and he said, don't try it. I look at him, try what? He said, you know it yourself. Come with me. So I went to his office. He got to his office. He just locked me. Immediately I entered his office, he just locked me. At that time of the night, he just locked me and he went away. He didn't come back until 10 a.m.
It was die here. I like this.
I cried.
Oh my God.
Because I know I'm already. I know he will never agree to whatever I want to do. He's our president. I was already attending his church. In fact, I was already a worker.
I love that man already. He's an angel.
So he left. So he came back and he said, hey, Christiana, you want to go and die?
Die. You wanted to
So
die.
tell me what happened.
Everything.
So I was like, please just let me go. Say, where are you going? You're already stuck. You're going nowhere. What happened? So I told him. He said, this is what happened. You remember that day I came back and I told you this and this is what happened. And he said, is that called? You won't die. We will find solution. So he made arrangements for me, myself, himself, and one other brother. We traveled down to Ilaro. That is the next thing to do. We got there. There is this NIFES secretariat at Ilaro. This Nigerian Christian Fellowship, blah, 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 blah. So in fact, we got to that house. I saw my friend. They just called him. Hey, Ndele saw me. He was already shaking. So they just said, get on the bike. You won't even dare ask any question. So we took him to the secretariat. We got there and we were sitting on the floor and they told him, she's pregnant. And he started crying. In fact, he cried that I was one begging him. Don't cry. Don't worry. I will be there for you. Ooh. This same person. Ooh. I was the one telling him no.
This is shaken from us.
And for a whole night we were there, all over the night. 4 of us. We cried. We looked for solution because they made it very clear. This pregnancy has come to stay. Nothing will happen to it. Those brothers. And they told us. So we said, okay. Then they told me that we need to go and inform my parents, you know. Then I said, no. Give us time. Let's breathe first. Let's look for how we're going to. Because his parents were different like us. His mom, his dad is late. So said, let's look for a way. His brother also, in fact, is a pastor, and so I understand the truth. That's why I said I was never angry with him. So then we went to that school. Lo and behold, one day I was just outside my school. I just saw my elder brother. I just saw him coming with. And when I saw him, I knew something was wrong. In fact, he didn't enter my room. He just said, hey, Anu, he called me Anu. He said, Anu, oh yeah, let's go. Oh yeah. It took me from school to my house.
Who told them?
And lo and behold, I got home. My boyfriend was sitting like this. His mom was here, his brother, and I entered my sitting room and I was like, am I in this same world? I've been motivated. I've been motivated judgment, like, because I don't know what is happening. So immediately I entered looking at my mom's face, you understand. My dad was looking at me it's as if I was seeing very sharp cutlass. Just bring down your neck, let me just cut. But I still have this small hope that everything will be all right. So I was standing, I was looking at everybody. And they said, oh yes, here she is. We were told you are pregnant. Yes or no? That's the next thing my dad said. Yes or no? I said yes. For who? And I looked at him. For him. And they looked at him. Not for you. He said, no, not for me. So when I heard that, I was like, look at me. What are you saying? I said, no, wait, let me explain. Yes, sometimes ago she came with some people. They came to my school. They told me this, that. Yes, and I know it's for me. I know. I understand.
That's what?
That is for me. Okay. But you know, after she left, I just thought about it that how would somebody just bring pregnancy for me and I would just accept it? He was saying it right in my presence. This is not the story. I was hearing. She said, so I just want to say it here now that if she's still sure the pregnancy is for me, let her go and terminate it. She is my baby. Hey, let her terminate it. It's my own. It's not for her. But if it's not for me, then I don't have anything. His brother was there. His mom was there. And I was there. I was just like, no, wait. What happened? I thought we've talked about this. In fact, as at the day we were talking, I even told him that I am ready to halt my education. I will see you through school. No, because I know your fear is, how will I do this? How will I continue my education? I will do it for you. I'm ready to do anything just to make sure that. Because in fact, then we have university jam, we have poly jam, we have, it's not like today that you just do only one jam. Yes. I sat for him for that exam that he got admission for.
You wrote the
exam for him. Yeah. You understand? So I was assuring him that all of those things not going to be a problem. You will finish because you're already there. You're already started. And he said, no. I have already made my point and my parents already agreed to this. So there is
decision.
So his decision. So the brother was saying, you know, he has the final decision. We can't say anything. So my daddy brought out a book and, you know, my dad is a military man. So he brought out a book and he said, take, sign.
That's what?
That, you know, you don't have any pregnancy here, not to talk of any child. Like, you don't have anything with her. And she took up the pen to sign. That I don't know anything about pregnancy. In fact, I don't know her. I don't know anything about the pregnancy.
He did?
And they left. And you know, in all of this, I was still not angry. They left. I don't know how I slept overnight. I still don't know how I was able to manage to sleep in that house. Very early in the morning, I ran out to school. So I was there, doing all sorts of like minutes, because I was determined to finish my education. Now, that's the only thing I'm left with. So I made up my mind that this school, I will finish it. So I started doing all sorts of like very early in the morning, we go to site to go and arrange blocks. Blocks then was 25 naira per one when you carry them. So I have to go and arrange blocks very early or late in the evening when I'm back from class.
With pregnancy?
Of course, with pregnancy. I would travel from Ijebu-Ode to Alaba, my 12, to go and buy CDs. This Tope Alabi. Then when he was singing for me, like all those songs. I will just spread nylon in front of my school, put all the cassettes there. As I started selling cassettes, then at 70 naira or 50 naira per one. That's what I do. Like just to make sure I have everything. All sort of. Sometimes I will go to the library. Library, I will go and help in arranging books. And this woman really likes me because of my condition. She would just said, okay, take 200 naira. So that was how I was surviving during pregnancy. So it's time
What
to.
about your parents?
They were there.
They
Can I
didn't-
even look?
They
That
didn't
they
come
didn't
to
even
check you.
check me for what? I think you understand the background I was talking to you about.
Yes.
Check me. At least that I'm still alive. That was allowed. It's a blessing already.
So-
That at least I'm not disturbed to go back to school. It's okay. And thank God there was no phone that you'd be
So
scared
they-
of somebody calling you or whatever. So I was just there all
And
alone.
they didn't surprise you to come someday.
To do, I have already disappointed them. I've forgotten. My daddy was disciplined in church. He was stepped down.
As a pastor.
This other guy's brother was also stepped down. Yes, it was a big issue. The two families had a very serious clash. So, if they are facing their own, I will have to face mine. This is all my fault. I have to. It's just that I'm the only one facing this now. Nobody's there to support. That's the only difference. So I was in the hospital.
Talk to be, share your experience.
It was time to give birth,
Okay.
and I fell in labor. I had roommates, so she took me to the school clinic. At first we thought it's going to be something we can undo right then in the school, but it was from the school clinic. They referred me to General Hospital Jebode, and I was in General Hospital Jebode laboring for 10 good days.
Eh? You labored for 10 days
10 days at General Hospital
10?
Jebode. 10 days.
in labor.
Yes. I was given, I think they call it fitocin or fitocin or whatever, this water
Oh, okay.
that,
okay.
that aids delivery.
Okay.
I was given 5 and nothing was happening. So they said, no, we need to investigate what is happening. I was in pain, but yet I was not really in labor. There was no opening, nothing.
For 10 days.
Yes. And all of this period, okay, I can't remember. I told you I joined Anglican Student Fellowship in school. These people stood by me. In fact, if it's not, in fact, I don't know what happened if most of our children of today, they don't like to join fellowship. Because if I had not joined, I don't know where I would be today. They stood by me. They did everything to a point of following me for my normal, what's it called, antenatal. No general hospital, they will tell you need to donate blood, because I also choose that as a second option from the beginning. That was the advice they gave me from my school clinic. Like one brother donated blood for me, and the hospital never knew. It was not even the
father of the.
he was not the one responsible for the pregnancy. He did everything. So when it was time for me to give birth, and the whole thing was looking like nobody even understand what is happening. So they said they need to carry out some scan tests just to know what is happening. It was from there we got to know that I was not actually disvirgined on that day. You're surprised? Okay.
that you were still a virgin,
Yes.
a pregnant virgin.
Let me explain. I also don't really know. As at that time, the only thing I just wanted is this baby to come out. So we went for the scan, and from there, the doctor, who I don't know, the man in that room explained to me that what actually happened that day was that while he was struggling to penetrate, or I don't know if it's allowed online,
Yes.
okay, on the show, I already have there's something we call AMI. It's already softened. That
Okay.
is what's it called? What makes you a virgin?
Okay.
That
Okay.
is covering
That
the
is
the, yeah,
skin.
the skin
Okay.
is already softened, and I have a little opening. Why this guy was struggling to penetrate, he actually releases on me, and that was how the sperm actually escaped to me.
Oh, so it was not like
There
a
was no penetration,
penetration. So you were still a virgin with probably
and I
like
never a
a.
very small opening.
So that was how you got pregnant.
Exactly.
So all these months you were still a virgin,
and I,
pregnant
and
virgin.
I never knew because I don't even know what virginity is. I don't know any about. I just thought now you have had sex and you're no longer born again. So that's all I know.
It doesn't
That your
stop
life
you
has
from being a born
ended.
again.
Your life has just ended. That was the mentality.
Hmm.
So from that hospital, you know what came to my mind? I was just like, it's like God is giving me another opportunity because I've always wanted to be a virgin till I get married. That is the teaching. That is what they
That
taught
was
us. That is the
yes,
foundation we
foundation we
had.
had.
Something just happened along the line. That is why I said it while I was in the beginning that, let me say, youthful exuberance. Like, I just got caught up with,
It was not
I
your
like you,
fault
that kind of a thing.
actually.
So
Yes.
that was, it's not intentional at all.
Oh,
So when I heard that, I was like, okay, what is the solution? They just said, I have three options.
okay.
The first option is you need to meet with someone just to have an opening. So this
There.
child can come out. Guy is right there in the hospital. They even said, we'll get you a room. It's not going to be a problem. That's the first option.
Okay.
Another option is
Second,
we have a machine that they can just help you open it up just for this baby to
to
come out.
come out.
And the last option is for you to go through CS. Oh God. While I was crying, I said to myself, this is an opportunity for me to be a virgin again. But one, I don't even know any brother. These are born again brothers. I can't even say it. You understand?
Wow.
So, and this guy is not even if he's there at that point, is a no for me. You
Yes.
understand? Now I'm left with either the machine, the they have so
Yes.
many,
Yes, I know.
of course, or
I know somebody that
instruments.
did that.
Okay, or I go through CS. So I said, machine, what if they twist, that kind? And I
So
said, no, I will resort to
yes.
CS. So I told them, I want to go to
In
CS.
2004.
Five,
Five.
May 2005, May 27, Children's Day.
Children's Day.
So I said, I want to go for CS. At first, they were looking at me like, you don't understand what, I don't really understand what CS is actually.
Yes.
But I felt that is the only thing that can save me, that can even make me have this dignity or pride that I've always wanted.
Mm.
So I said, that's what I'm going for. And they said, okay. They whipped me back to the word, and they start preparing it. They said, okay, we'll need your parents to sign because this is CS. It's not just something we can. And that's where the problem comes.
The parents that we sign. Jesus.
And the doctor said, yes, we need your parents. And I was like, okay. I have a brother, my uncle, thereabout. I have an uncle. So I think at first, if I'm not mistaken, we called at home and there was no response. That I'm already in the hospital. During those 10 days, one of my church members called
them.
and there was no response. So like,
didn't respond,
no
your
problem. So they were like, they were not responding. So at this point now that they need them, I gave them my uncle's number. So they called my uncle. My uncle drove all the way from Ikorodu to my parents' house. He got there and he said, it was later he told me, just said, Auntie me, ewo moto. Baba no, oya, ewo moto. Drove the two of them down to the body that Sunday. So they got to the body on the 28th in the morning, 28th, and they told my dad, we need you to donate blood. My dad said, okay. So he donated blood and
Let's go.
they carried out the operation. So when they brought out
You
the
were asked
baby,
to sign.
of
You
course they
signed.
signed. My mom was there, my uncle was there. In fact, now we have so many family members
Members.
because it was at the point of, CS
Yeah.
then was like a death
Death
sentence.
sentence.
Okay.
Yes.
So now they said, CS, everybody was around. My friends, my church member, the whole place were like, it was as if we have maybe something special is happening. They wheeled me to theater and I came back. So when I came back, the child was not well formed, like, maybe because of the sufferings and all of that. So they said they need to put the child in
Incubator.
incubators and all of that. And they said, no, you have to drove to Osut, Ishagam, for us to, but that Djibouti, they don't have neonatal care for the
Okay.
child. So they have to take the child to Djibouti. And my mom said, nobody is going anywhere. You see why I'm here is because of this one here. You see that child? Leave her. Leave the child.
What?
Leave the child. Forget. See, if once she's okay, every other thing does not matter to me. Forget. My mom said she's not going anywhere. But it was later my friends were telling me that they were begging. All of them were in the moment. She said, no,
To take the child.
she's not going. The baby, I'm not going anywhere. Okay, if you want to take the child, maybe you should take. You can carry the child. But
To
for
where?
me, you see this
This
girl
one.
here, that is why I am here. Every other thing does not matter.
My
Once
God.
she's okay, we are going home.
My God.
And me, I'm okay. Nothing is wrong. In fact,
You were fine.
I was very okay.
So she agreed to take you home and leave the
Of course.
girl.
The child does not matter. This is like she's a visitor. Does not matter. After a whole lot of beggings and all that, the hospital now agreed to help. Like, okay, let's see what we can do for the child. And I saw the child after 6 days because I didn't even see the child. They keep telling me, don't worry, she's fine, this, that. When they brought the child, there's one, what's it called? This candle in front of her head like this. There is two candles. And she was like a lizard. Very tiny. I couldn't even carry her. Like, is this what can I do? Now that I'm seeing some people who are really ready to help, I just shut my I can't even say anything. So after 6 days, on the 6th, my mom said she can no longer wait here. She's tired, so she wants to go home. My daughter, she's fine now. Are you ready to go with me? And the hospital were like, what of the child? I don't know. I want to go home, and I want to go home with her.
Like, but
So what do we do? And the hospital said, so you won't leave this baby here? She said, give it to us now. She said, it's for us. Give it to us. Nothing will happen to her.
like that.
And the hospital said, you have to sign against medical advice. And she signed. That's how they remove everything. And we took the child home like that. We got home, my mommy, they just put her inside the baby net and she survived. She's 18 this year. She survived. In fact, like she survived.
How?
As at this time I was talking about my exam, my first semester exam 100 level remained 2 weeks. My second semester rather remained 2 weeks. So I came home. It was on the 8th day. They just asked me in the morning, hello auntie. We're all in the sitting room. I just named her and that was all.
Eunice.
Yeah. 1 week later, I took everything. That's why I went to school. Because I need to write my exam. Like, this my school is now so much. I took it upon myself that I won't lose twice. I have lost now. But this education, no matter what I want. So I took her like that. I went to school. But it got to a point. I could no longer cater for her. In fact, I was giving her, I was so gary in the evening.
Wait, you took the child like that?
Like that.
To school?
Back to
with
school.
You?
Of course.
Your parents will not take her from you?
They can't.
Take care
She's
of
just a week old. How? And I need to go and write my exam. You understand? So what can I do? At a point, I could no longer take care of her. You know, what am I even saying? I was so Gary in the evening over the night. You know, the water will have been very cold. That's what I will put in the feeder and give to her. As a food because I can't do it. I can't. I can't. I just know that she will survive. If you have survived hospital, then you will survive the rest. So at a point, she got sick, like very sick. Something green started coming out from her nose, from her mouth. Then I took her back to general hospital. Immediately I got to the general hospital, they ran some tests and they were like, remember, oh, immediately they entered her name and they said, you've already signed against medical advice. And in the hospital, once you sign, that child can never come back to that hospital. I ran outside.
You were not going to save her life.
No. I ran outside. I called my mom. This is what is happening. My child is sick. And this is what they said at the hospital, that unless you have to come down and sign again, that okay, now I want you to take care of this child. So I told my mom, mom said, me, I will never come. Bring that child home. Nothing is going to happen to her. So I brought the child home. I brought the child home and my mom said, okay, from now, I will take it off from here. You can go. What is it? That's how she took the child from me. And I went to school.
How many weeks was she then?
She was already 5 months.
5 months. Months?
Yeah, she was 5 months. That's why I took her home. So she took it from me and I went to school. I never came back. I was in school because I can't face coming home to see them or see their face. The pain is everywhere. The disappointment is everywhere.
You were still not forgiven.
What are these people forgive? The mistake is right there in front of them. Of course. So I left. Sometimes, now they have phone at home. I'll go to the center, make a call. Sometimes my brothers will pick it. I was just like, oh, how is she? Yeah, she's fine. She's outside. That's how I do till I finish my school.
So you weren't coming for holidays or something?
Even if I come, to do what? What's you don't understand, like going home with excitement or with what? To do what? Of course, maybe once in a while when I just feel like just to see her. But with time, I was never angry. I look for every opportunity to see him. I just don't want to go anywhere else. But he never came. He never came back. He never learned. And it's all because of maybe his friends, the influence they had on him then.
Of course.
I was there in one of those days when one of the shows was telling him right in the person that, she went for him the money. Oh, we're going to future. Like they thought once you have a child, you don't have a future. Of course, that was the belief there. But while we were growing up, I still keep hoping that we will come to an understanding that is not the end of the world. But it never came. So I gave up.
That was when?
I gave up 2010 there. 2010. She's already 5 years. So I gave up. I went for my NYC and that was when I met the man I eventually got married to. So I got married when she was 7 years.
7?
Yes. But then I got married to another person.
Okay. Before we move to another person's story, the person you got married to eventually and all, honestly, I don't know. So, where is he now? Has he come to look for the child or the lady? She's already 18 in uni, right?
Yeah.
In uni already. Has he come to ask for her? Is there a connection? Then, what name is she bearing? Even after signing that,
all of those things.
yes.
Well, that's another story entirely.
Okay.
But as far as I am concerned, he doesn't have any child anywhere. There is no child anywhere. In fact, let me say that pregnancy never happened.
Okay, since when did you decide to be this, to say
To
this?
say this,
Yes,
I gave up
somebody.
2010.
Okay.
That was when I gave up. Because I said to him, while I was looking for him, I know where he works, so I go there.
So what was
So
his
each time I
reaction?
go there, I always tell him that once I am married, that is it. And he
So
keeps
those.
saying, you know, this saying that "Ọmọ má dàgbà, ọmọ bàbá ẹ̀ jàre."
Oh, so does it mean that he knows he has a child somewhere?
I think in his mentality, I mean, maybe in his belief, he knows that I can never terminate that pregnancy.
No.
And you know, during labor, I called him.
Okay.
In fact, I skipped that. You know, while I was in labor, I called. I called him that this is an opportunity for you to amend your ways. My parents were not here then.
Okay.
And I was like, come. If at home they later got to know that you were there during labor, you were there when we gave birth and all of that, nobody will hear that and will still want to be mad at you. They will understand that now you want to take responsibility.
I'm sorry, I want to take you a little back.
Okay.
At the time you were asked that if you could get someone to meet with you at that time so that to break the
Yeah.
virginity, did you think of him?
Yes, I called him.
You called him to come
Of
and
course.
do that?
No, I just called him to come and take responsibility.
Okay.
Just come and stand by me.
So at that time, if he had come back saying that he wants to do that, you would have allowed
Oh,
him?
why not? Like, I would have just accepted him.
Mhm.
Very easy. And I would have really fought my parents for him.
For him.
Yeah.
So after the baby came, so
Desperate. Why the child was still, I think on the 8th day or after, or thereabout, they came and they're still saying the same thing. So what can I do now? I can't tell my parents what to do at this point. You understand?
yes.
The only thing now is my own decision. That okay, maybe he's nervous. It's normal. We are still kids. For somebody to just say things like that to you, maybe he's scared because of the kind of father I have. You understand? So I was actually waiting or hoping that they will come at that time. So that the whole thing can just clear off. You understand? If he had been in the hospital during that time, this whole thing would not have been a problem. We would just forgive each other and everything will just come back to normal. But it never did. So when they called the parents, even after we got home, they were still saying the same thing.
The parents.
Yeah, I mean that's the brother himself and the mom. They're still saying the same thing. So this is when my parents now really got angry. Like they don't ever want to see you. They have tried. Like they've given you enough opportunity to just think again. Even after all the dramas you acted the other day, they still invited you this time around. Okay, come. Now we have the child. What is going to happen? They said, no. So what can we do? So I just said to me that he will come back.
When last did you hear of him, about him or anything?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. And he doesn't still ask after the lady.
Hmm.
He does, or he's not asking after her. I want to know then what's the, now that she's grown, what has
The
he done?
family has never cared. They
Family
never
as a
came
whole.
till now.
What about the guy in question?
I've not seen. He's fine. In fact, he knows I'm in Nigeria.
He knows.
He knows.
But I'm still asking, has he ever requested to talk with Eunice? Has he ever done anything? Or
He's just waiting that the child will look
will
for him.
look for him?
Exactly. So he's waiting.
May the child never have any reason
You know,
to go look for him. Amen.
as at the time I was planning to travel out, and I already have it in mind that I will go with her out. Even if not at first, I will still find a way to take her with me. And okay, let me say that at a point, the church has started having issues, big issues, that the family went to the pastor. Let me use that word, that at least they have a child. They want this child to bear their name. It was a big issue. They called me, my mom called me on phone and she was like, our people, they came and this is what,
What you
and
say
I was
the
like,
family weren't coming for?
they went to church. They never came to our house. So pastor sent for my parents. And pastor was the one, like an intermediary between them and my parents.
Like, how
They just want,
was the girl?
the girl was maybe like 13 years or thereabouts.
Okay, she was.
So they just told me one day that they want her to bear. I was like, are they okay? Okay, no problem. I'm ready. Let them do their responsibility. Like, let them hold up to their responsibility. Let them come out. Let them come to our house and say it. Don't go to church. Don't invite
Talk to
anybody.
us now.
You want to blackmail me with pastor or church? No. Talk to me. Talk to my family. Even if they said they will kill you, they will do, let them threaten, let them do anything, come first. But they never came. They claim they are afraid. You don't know what my daddy can do. What can he do?
Stop boring you for him.
So, but they never came. That was their intent, that your dad, we don't know what will happen if you come to your house. And I don't care. So I was thinking, the child was bearing my father's name during our primary school. So at the point, there was a time when she was writing common entrance. I was not thinking that this is future we are talking about. This is first living certificate. Bearing my father's name on our first certificate will not be very good. So I changed her name to his surname. You can understand. To his surname. And she did common entrance. But after I got married, like after I have begged, one day I just said to myself, am I okay? It's as if I'm now begging. I'm the one, in fact, at a point it was as if I'm the one saying, if don't say it with your mouth that, okay, motibo. So I said, no, it doesn't worth it. God has already blessed me. I don't need anything from you to take care of the child. I was doing well. One day I just went to court. I went to court, took all the certificate to court. I got a lawyer and I did a change of name to my husband's name. At first I told my husband and he was like, okay, the day I met you, because when my husband met me,
I was even coming to his own. So let's just go directly to how you guys met and what happened.
When he met me, when he proposed to me, let me start from there. What I told him is, if you want to marry me, you will first of all agree that you have a child
Elsewhere.
before. You will go to your house, tell them that when you were in school, you got a lady pregnant, and this lady already have a child for you. If they accept it in your house, that is when we can talk about marriage. For you to know how protective I was. Because I already watched so many movies that I don't want to have a stepfather for my child. I want to have a father. So when you begin to have the mentality that this child is mine, it will be easier for me. So I told him, if you know you want to even talk about it, first of all, go and tell them in your house you have a child. So if they accept it, then come back. Then I will now go and pray and think about it. So he left. He told them at home. I'm not sure they still know in their house that that child is not actually his child.
Are you serious?
Some people know, but not everybody.
I don't think I'll do that. I don't think I would lie like that.
Yeah. Because that's the only way I can bring this child. Thank God she's still young. I can maneuver my way around her. This whole thing we are saying now, if she watch it, that will be her first time hearing this.
Are you serious?
She has never heard it. She never knows she has a father anywhere.
Where does she think the father is?
That's the father, my husband. And that's it. The man I got married to manipulated his way into her heart. And she just felt, yes, we had you before we got married. Because each time she's looking at the picture, our wedding picture, she was my little bride.
Oh.
So she knows, the belief is, we had her when we were in school. She thought we went to the same school and we had her.
But now that you're saying this, you want her to know the truth.
I don't know. Last night when we were talking, she was right there beside me. And the phone was on speaker. So when I dropped the call, I was not like, okay, am I really ready to tell?
Tell her.
Because if I tell
Why?
her
I
now,
honestly think she should know the truth.
she, she is going to, she's at the peak of her life now that she doesn't need any distraction. You understand? So, and I thought, am I really ready to say this whole thing? I have a friend who has actually been telling me that let's tell her.
Mm.
We need to let you need to know everything. But because they are connected,
Mm.
they share this bond that I just don't want to start explaining unnecessarily.
No, it's not unnecessary. The thing is, until she knows the truth, there might be one or two things she had wanted to say as well that she won't be able to say it.
Mm.
I yes, I felt you should have, but it's still a good time to let her know.
Mm.
That's the father she knows anyway.
Of course.
She's not looking for another father, but
Mm.
we need to tell our kids the truth. We need to let them know at the time when they can process it
Exactly.
and be a better human being.
I understand. I think I go by
Do
that.
you understand?
Yeah.
If you tell her much later that you will not have, you might create another human being entirely. So
Hmm.
I felt,
You know why I actually waited this long?
mm,
While she was growing up, you know, we watched this Yoruba movies very well. And I watched a scenario like that where a father came back later and said, I'm sorry, you know, those kind of thing. And I was asking her, if you are the one who say, mommy, nobody should try that with me. I'll just kill him.
eh,
When I heard that, she was still young, like maybe 13, 14 there. When I heard that, I know that she's this kind of person that she's a very, how should I say it in English? Dinu.
okay,
You
she's
understand?
heart-hearted,
Very, yes, very strong
secretive.
will, secretive, exactly. And I felt she would be somebody like, once you offend her like this, it's very hard to get her back.
Okay.
To get her back to,
Mm,
even at home, sometimes when I do something, I'll just be like, what it talk? It doesn't like, that kind of
she's
a thing.
very
So
secretive.
it has always been like, if I see all of this thing, it's not as if she doesn't have a picture at all. Because when she was in secondary school, she would always come back home and say, Mommy, one woman came to our school today and she was calling me one name.
I
She
was
said,
about to say that you know what? They will start telling her from outside.
they,
By the time that guy wants to come
mm,
and claim it, most times they don't come to your
to your
house
house.
and ask.
Yeah,
They will now start saying all sorts of stories.
yeah,
It's good that she's aware, and whoever is coming from anywhere, she's just answering them. She's confronting them like,
yeah.
what are you talking about? It's better than her coming to ask you so many questions like, Mommy, I heard this, I heard, and then we as parents we have to be very careful so that there is a thin line
Hmm.
between love and
It's
hatred.
true.
So we don't now what you are what you're protecting does not turn
To
to
something
hurt
else. Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful.
Mm.
Tell them the truth as long as they can process it. Now she can. So
Mm-hmm.
when
She's mature now.
she's matured
She told
enough
me,
to,
Mommy, I'm not an adult. I'm a
she's
person.
it's
Yeah.
in
I've changed our
university.
school countless times because of that. Somebody going to our school to say, I am your grandma. I went to the school. I almost to the school.
Grandma
How will
where?
somebody come to my child's school and you allow her to enter my child's class to hug her? For
For
what?
kidney?
Who is she?
For
I
what?
changed her school. Like two like that
No, you
happens.
don't have to.
So
They
as
should
at that
stop coming
time, she's still very young. But I think yes, now,
now.
of course. In fact, that was one of the reasons why I took her out of the country. Why? Because while I was outside, I was just like, one day this girl would just come here and say, Mommy, I met somebody today. Because she would always say it. Mommy, we went to church and one man was telling me, do you know me? Do you know you bear Toyosi? Ask your mommy when you get home that who are the Adeshinas. When she
Ah,
told me, I said, forget them. Say something else. I
well,
just brush it. That was it. It's been long, like you understand. So, but when I was tired, I was just like, So immediately I had the opportunity. I just took her away because I just don't want, for now, I want my husband also to get to a point where she is relaxed. That's not after he has labored this much, One man will just show up from nowhere and snatch away this love
But
or the
sincerely,
child.
do
You
you know what I
understand?
think?
Mm.
Do you know what I think sincerely? I don't know the relationship between your husband and yourself at the moment and all, but I think the both of you should call her. Please call her before I release this. Please.
No,
No, I
my
think
husband is
so.
not around. He's
No,
not in
no.
Nigeria,
I
so
think you guys should talk to her. Let her know, and then let her know there is no two fathers.
or maybe I'll play this for her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Release it, no
That's
problem.
something.
I'll just let her
Let
watch it
her know.
on
This is my story.
her. Exactly.
So what do you think?
Mhm.
I think this is a good way actually. Just call
She said,
her.
Mommy, let me follow you. She know
So
I'm coming
here,
to you. So,
aha.
but because I know what I'm coming to do, so I said,
Yes.
no, no.
Please just play it for her and say, this is my story. What do you think? If you're in my shoes,
What will you
what
do?
would you have done better? And I just think this is very beautiful for
Yeah.
her to know. And then she can make up her mind and say, okay, I don't want to ever see those people. I
Mhm.
don't want to do this. I don't want. So the rest is up to her
To
to make a
decide, a
decision.
decision, yeah.
But then you would have tried your best. Wow, I'm sure we've had an amazing time. I'll just ask one or two more questions and then we round it up. This is overwhelming. It's too much for me to digest because but I would like to say as parents, I'm sure even in religion houses, religion has taught us a lot. We have learned. I know if it's I'm sure the same deeper life would have done it differently now.
Now, yeah,
I'm
of
sure.
course, of course.
I'm sure some parents would have done it differently now. Now imagine if at that time they lost you or they lost the child. What would have happened to those parents? Would they have forgiven themselves easily? Or they lost you, God forbid, and that child is still living till now. Every time that your parents get to see her, what happens to them? What comes to their mind? That is why we need to be careful as yes, it's good. We had some kind of parenting over them the way back then that was the best actually.
Of course.
We still remember some things that like we said, the fear of your parents is the beginning of wisdom. Yes, I know there's so much they taught us so much that you are afraid to sin. You are
And it
afraid
actually helps. That's the
it
truth.
makes you a
Better
better person.
person.
So there are some parts of those parenting that were very good, and there's some part of it that we can't afford to keep. But please, parents, let's pick from those things. Let's learn from them. Let's pick from them, and the ones that we don't want, let's trash it away. We can't take them off totally because they are good. They would have made her a better person. But at times, life happens to us and we just move on. It happens, we learn from it and move on from that. I want you to just tell us a little about your present marriage, your child, how long does it take you? So is that why you stayed long to have? Because still, you got married to him, it was 7 years after, and your baby is 2 years old. What happens along the line?
I was about to say that also that not just parents, as an individual,
Yes.
life happens. So when it happens, please, we should just always think of what happened next, like tomorrow. I have every reasons to terminate that pregnancy. I never did. Now another phase is here. And when I was having issues with pregnancy in a marriage,
Okay, you skip that side that when you got married.
yeah,
So what happened?
when I got married, well, for somebody like me, at first I was like, I will enjoy my marriage first before we start having kids. And before you know it, started turning to nightmare. I had to wait. I gave birth now in 2020. I had this child November 2020. In fact, outside the country this time around.
That's after like 8 years.
Yes, exactly. 8 years. So each time I am going through this, something keep coming to me that if I had aborted, I won't be able to forgive myself because it would be as if
That was
that
the
was
problem.
the problem.
That was the
Actually,
cause of the delay.
yes. So I will always have confidence in myself that at least I have a child, so I don't have a problem. It's not a problem. You understand?
I
So
do.
even the doctors, once you have a child before, yes, okay. So we know that. Let's face another thing. If I had said no, okay, then we start thinking of, even though I go through fertilities and all of that, and I did IVF, I did IUI, everything failed.
Wow.
But
Wow.
thank God, one of the things that kept me going was the fact that even the time when I had reasons to abort, I never did.
No.
So I know that I don't have it's not a problem. It's not a phase.
The baby will come.
It will come. So things that we will not be able to forgive ourselves in the future, we can
be
always
mindful
be
of
mindful
it.
of them. Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. So now 2 years to 18 years, no, is not a joke. Like
Wow.
I have gone through.
Practically, the boy will all just look like a son to her.
Exactly. Exactly. My marriage is over 11 years. Wow. And I have a 2 years old child. I had to run away from Nigeria because it got a time I was thinking, I think I no longer belong here. If I need this, I need to find solace outside.
But you're back home now.
Of course, at least I came back with someone.
Yes. Do you know?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If at all, sometimes and I'm thinking, I just know that at least Moro Mubo. Exactly. So that's been my solace actually.
Wow.
So.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're
It's
welcome.
been an amazing time with you.
You're welcome.
I had so much fun.
I enjoyed myself. I was emotional. I laughed. I smiled all through. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for staying tuned to the show. The show is Talk to Be. You've heard a story. I'm sure you had fun. You enjoyed yourself. Can you imagine? Pregnant virgin. A virgin with a child. Yes, it seems impossible. But the truth is, in this world that we live in, nothing is impossible. Yorùbás will say, tí wọ́n bá ní títì ẹ̀ pọ̀, tó bá tún gbọ́ tẹlòmíì, ẹnu á yà ẹ́. I'm sure that's like the story that we've just heard now. Well, this is where I'll be drawing the curtains till I come your way next week by God's grace. Please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Biola Bio Entertainment, Biola Bio ENT. Please comment, like, and share. Invite others to watch this and to learn. That is why we are here. Like I tell you, Talk to Be is not just about celebrities. It's for everyone that have a story. You have something you would like to share, you can just send me an email or send me a DM on my Instagram page, Biola Bio 1, Biola Bio 1. You can send me a DM or there will be a number here that you can send your story to. Just, maybe in a voice note, send it to us, then we'll call you and we'll give you a day for your interview. You can share yours too. People can learn from your experience. I hope and I pray that you would have overcome or you're ready an overcomer. Don't forget, in whatever thing you're doing, put God first, be determined, and stay focused. Till I come your way again, stay beautiful. I love you.
Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Talk to be. Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Talk to be.
Yeah, you have to talk to be.
Come on.
Talk to be.
Talk to be. Talk to be.
Talk to Be. Share your experience.